What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Starforge give it a go review, I suppose. It's my first attempt at one of these types of things. So, Starforge is a free-to-play third-person action MMORPG developed by the Allods team in collaboration with Obsidian Entertainment. Now, as we all know, Obsidian Entertainment, mainly known for their work with the Fallout franchise. They developed Fallout New Vegas and a lot of the early on Fallouts before it was bought out by Bethesda. Now, the game itself's been out since July 2015, but it's recent to PlayStation 4, and that's the version that I will be reviewing. So obviously, before getting the game, I was told it was a good game, so I thought I'll check it out and did some reviews. It's got mixed reviews. It's got 4 out of 5 on the PlayStation Store. About 7.5 on MMORPG.com, and about 6 out of 10 on Steam. That's obviously for the PC version. So here's the thing: you load into the game, you do your tutorial and all that jazz. Now the tutorial doesn't really leap out at you much. It's, to be fair, it's pretty bog standard. It's pretty bog standard tutorial. You've got to try and really power past that in order to get into the game, I suppose, and get into the main structure of it. Now, I played about 2 hours of it, which is around about the first section, the first little section of the game. And I mean, I'm not going to be horrible. For what it is, it's a free-to-play game. And for what it is, I suppose, and for the lack of money, which I say lack, I mean no money. The only thing you actually have to have is the PlayStation 4 and a valid internet connection to download the game. So it's a free-to-play game. It's a good free-to-play game. Like, you can't argue with that fact, But here's the bit where it kind of gets a bit iffy. There is a premium service to it. Now, I personally don't see the premium service adding much to it. Like, game-wise, you get bits and bats for it with it. But, like, the base game, the base free-to-play game, it's pretty bog standard. It's something you'd play if you was bored. Early on in the game, the gameplay itself is good. It's stimulating to an extent, entertaining to an extent. The graphics, for what it is they're fantastic. It's like a mix between Fable. It's like it's like Fable type Final Fantasy graphics wise. The type of game it looks like. But again, graphics are good, but unless the gameplay is substantial enough, like I said, at first it keeps you stimulated, but towards the back end of the first bit of the game, it becomes repetitive. And to be honest, pretty boring. The storylines, like, there's not really much of a storyline. There are different seasons from what I've seen. There's not enough to keep you engaged, and there's certainly not enough to call it an RPG. I do not believe it's a role-playing game. I just don't. MMO, fair enough, because that's what it is, but it's not an RPG. I can't see it as an RPG game. You guys know what I play a lot of RPG games. I play a lot of the big hitters like Mass Effect, The Witcher, Dragon Age, big RPG games, and the fundamentals of an RPG game is role-playing and having some sort of influence within the game. Now, you don't get that. You create your character. That's about where the RPG bit ends. You get your abilities. You can select what type of class you want to be. But that's about where it ends. Like, you'd like to think you get some sort of choice in what you say, like, but you don't. It's like a box comes round it, round what you want to say, and that's there's no options. There's no options to change your dialogue, which is a shame, because then it would be, you know, a fundamental RPG game, but it's not. There's no free roam to it. There's, you know, you have a currency system to which I spent the back end of a good 10 minutes trying to find a merchant or something to spend these credits on, and I couldn't find anything. There's no guide to it. Even when you first load in the game, or when you first complete your first stage, there's no, oh, by the way, this is where you can spend your credits bit. There isn't any of that, which, again, like, completely threw me out, you know, to a point where it became rather irritating, because you're earning this currency, and to my knowledge, there's nowhere to spend it. Just give me a merchant. Give me some. This is not an RP. Oh my god! Even a fucking MMO has merchants. Fuck's sake! I'm going mad. Oh, give us a dance floor. Give us a fucking dance floor, yeah. Don't give us a merchant though. God. Oh, I'm losing my patience. I'm losing the will to fucking live.
Rebooting the system. Please wait.
You can't even get on the top floor. That bit were a bit frustrating. Like, you're doing all this work for nothing, to be honest with you. For a bleak storyline, you know, repetitive fights. The boss battles are pretty much the same thing over and over again, except a bit harder. And it's pretty much the same level, just redesigned, basically. Now, well, I've got that said, part of the rant out of the way. Is it worth playing? If you are in a position where you can't afford games, or you can't afford a game you want currently, then yeah, I'd go for it, because it's something that's going to keep you occupied and droning away. Basically, you'll feel something. I mean, there's no huge sense of accomplishment. The closest thing of accomplishment I felt was when I finished the live stream. So there's that to factor in. But is it a game worth playing? Yes. Yes, if you want about 2 hours to be stimulated of your day. That's about it. Now, the actual game, like I've said, the game itself is solid as some sort of entertainment, but it's not an RPG. It's just an MMO action along those lines. Which I think for Obsidian, with the history they've got, I'm a bit let down by that. You know, these are the guys who co-developed the game, and when, you know, you think these are the guys who brought us Fallout New Vegas, then it kind of get a bit disappointed. But I understand that it's a free game, and obviously you don't want to put a lot of assets into it, but at least come up with something where we're going to be entertained and want to buy premium. And yeah, so my personal rating for this game, probably a 4 out of 10. Not much higher, 4.5 at a max. If you're in a position where you can't afford to buy games, or low income, or for whatever reason, or you can't play all the games online that you want to play because you don't have Plus, then play it, because that is one feature I do like about it, is that you don't need PlayStation Plus to play online with it. That is one great thing about it. It's a free-to-play game, 100% out. It's not pay to win or anything like that. I have respect for the developers for, because, you know, that potentially losing out on money. So yeah, 4.5 out of 10, guys. Am I going to play it again? Am I going to make a series on it? Probably not. I saw my attention span going after about 2 hours. I couldn't be bothered with it anymore. And as someone who, when I'm enjoying and getting actually into a game and I'm live streaming it, I go on for hours upon hours. You guys have seen my Dragon Age series, for example. Hours upon hours. It's not something I can do. I probably use it if I'm bored and I just want to stimulate my brain. That's the only thing I'd use it for. And even then I've got Battlefield 1 or something like that to do that. So, yeah. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. Next week we will be reviewing Gwent, the Witcher card game. I am really looking forward to playing that. And yeah, until next time, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm hoping for some feedback because this is the first time I've tried anything like this. Usually I'll give a point at the end of a live stream, but I figured I'd try to do something different for people who don't want to sit through 2 hours of live streaming before getting a review. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I shall catch you next week around the same time. Bye!